Morning, Lois.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's Monday. I have my coffee.
I know I want some tea. I
I hope
don't
you are
have any.
all doing well this morning.
Yes. Hopefully you all had a great weekend as well. Start of a new week.
How are you feeling this morning about the friendship in your life? I hope everyone has a wonderful friend that they can all go talk to, but some of us don't have that close person. I know I've struggled with that over the years. And so we wanted to talk about it. Wanted to talk about what friendship looks like and the learning process that we go through over the years to find those people. I know my mom used to say, in order to be a good or to have a good friend, you have to be a good friend. And didn't always sit well with me, to be
No?
honest, because I didn't know how to be a good friend. And I had to learn how to be a good friend. What do you think about learning how to be a good
Um, I really like your mom's mantra, which is to be a good friend or to have a good friend, you need to be a good friend. That is so apropos for what we're talking about this morning because some of us maybe need to be a little bit better at being good friends. Um, I know that that's probably going to be a topic for another conversation around friendship and how do you maintain friendships or what does it take to be a good friend. But I think it's important that if you don't know, that you need to learn because friendships are hard to come by in this town. And when you are not a good friend, then you really can't maintain that. You can't maintain the friendship, or you can't expect the other person to be the friend only while you kind of just pick up that they're what they're giving. You have to be able to, it's a give and take situation, like any relationship. It has to take some work, or it does need to take some work to have it work well and be maintained. So if you don't know how to be a good friend, I suggest that you get some books and get some courses, whatever you need to do.
friend?
How to be a good friend, because friends are so important in our lives, not just childhood friendships or our children and parent friend relationships or our spouse and husband and wife relationships, but our girlfriends and our boyfriends. Those are important relationships. Those are the people that we bounce the stuff off of, that we don't bounce off of our intimate relationships or our child relationships or our parent relationships. Those are the friends that we can bring all the mundane stuff and all the exciting stuff and all the boring stuff and some of the negative stuff, even just to kind of have their input and perspective on what you're going through or what you're experiencing. So I think those friendships are key and can be pivotal in your life when you have the right people around you. So learning how to be a good friend, I think, is important if you don't know how. They're hard to come by.
Yeah, I think we actually learn a lot about friendship when we're young by watching our parents and the people around us
Yeah.
mirror or model that for us. And so if we don't have um, those models showing up in our lives, then we miss some of those. And it doesn't mean that because we may have great parents, and I'm kind of an example of this. Like, I didn't have bad parents, but my mom, her best friend lived really far away. So I grew up hearing about my mom's best friend, whom I'm actually named for.
Oh.
but I didn't get to see that. I didn't see them interacting. So I had this idea about friendship, but it didn't exist in front of me.
Got you.
I didn't get to see what that looked like. I
So let
didn't.
me ask you, did you have school friends at school maybe, or no?
Well, I had this seizure disorder that made me think differently about myself.
Mhm.
And then I went to school, and there were certain kids that made fun of me. And
Okay.
there were certain times when I just wasn't like cognitively there for myself. And then I think kids just kind of want to be present
Yeah.
with people who are present. You know, it's
Yeah.
hard to understand things that are hard. And so
Right.
you kind of move away from difficult things. That's just a human tendency. And
And you
so
want to be accepted by
mhm,
by folks. And if you weren't feeling accepted, then I can understand the difficulty that you were having making friends or being a friend. So with you starting off with the idea of learning how to be a friend, I think is critical in your case.
so
That
so many levels of so many levels of
yeah,
going on, right?
yeah,
So the idea of friendship was really difficult.
right.
So I spent a lot of time struggling with that idea. And I would just come home and cry
Oh,
because I didn't have that. I didn't have friends, and I didn't know what that meant. And when I was younger, I had a friend, and we would hang out a lot. But that changed pretty quickly. And um, over time, you know, as I got older, um, I would I would continue to struggle with that piece of my life. And I learned by watching other people have friendships,
mm,
um, what they did well, and what they didn't do well, and what it
mm.
looked like to um, have a good cohesive relationship, and what it didn't look like. And it was hard to and then I would try and make that happen.
Got
And you
it.
can't make something happen for yourself. Like it just doesn't work. um you kind of have to and finally to come to the place where I could allow myself to just be a friend, to really
Mhm.
be a friend and not make a friend.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
that makes a lot of sense.
So my mom was right. You have to
Yeah,
be a
she
friend,
was. Uh-huh.
not force a friend.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think friendships also evolve organically. So when you say don't make a friend, just be a friend, that makes a whole lot of sense because, like anything that clicks, there has to be some kind of chemistry or something there that gels that friendship together or initiates that budding friendship, and then have it grow and evolve and then gel. Um, but like any relationship, it takes a spark of something that you don't make happen, that it's organic and that it's intrinsic to that relationship, that it just evolves because there's something that connects the two of you, either chemistry, um, like, passions, interests, um, spirituality. It could be any number of things or a combination of all of those things. but I don't think you don't put those things in people. They are actually there. And so when you connect with someone, there's something connecting the two of you. And then you grow from that and you evolve from that. So being a friend is really how those relationships evolve best, I think, as opposed to you just making, I want to be your friend. Would you be my friend? I mean, remember back in school, that's how the young boys in the class would ask you out. I want to be your boyfriend. Do you want to be my girlfriend? And no, you don't even know if you like her or they like you. They just want to be your boyfriend, or you want to be their girlfriend. So that's a whole different kind of thing. And usually they're not friends for very long. After they've gone to the next class, they forgot about that person and they're on to somebody else, right? So I think friendships have to have some kind of chemistry or something there initially to have it germinate and then evolve into friendship. So yeah.
And truly to be a friend and not try and be forcing a friendship, you have to be in a place where you are okay with yourself.
Yes.
And that's the challenge, is to get to that place where you don't need someone to be with you, to complete you. It's inner work, right?
Yeah.
And
being comfortable with who you are inside. Yeah.
being comfortable with who you are. Yeah.
That's important.
So we're going to talk a little bit more next time about what happens when it feels like your friendships are falling apart.
Ooh.
And would love to hear more about what is happening with your friendships, if you're enjoying this series. And make sure you check out the podcast that Jenice has on, it's not in my brain.
Spotify and Anchor.
Thank you.
Yeah, Spotify and Anchor and a few other platforms, but those two are the main ones. Genesis Speaks Diabetes, the Sugar Sweet Enemy podcast. So yes, check that out. And I have new episodes coming up. So yeah, hopefully we'll see you there. And we want you to have a wonderful rest of your Monday. Have a great week, a productive week. And we're going to talk a little bit more next week about friendships and them falling apart, and what do you do to preserve those friendships, or what does it take to preserve those friendships. So thanks for being here today, guys. Have a good one.
Talk soon.
Talk soon.